Yo, shout out to Chief X. So, this is the library of a 90's Hotepper. So in the 90's, we didn't have YouTube and videos. We had to actually go to bookstores and buy books and get our knowledge. So I'm an ex-Hotepper. I don't buy into, you know, black people were West African black people were Egyptians or none of that shit. Or I don't buy into the we were here before Columbus shit no more, So I'm an ex-Hotepper, but I have all the books from the 90's. So as you can see, I have a hardcover that came before Columbus. Ivan Van Sertima, I have all his books. This book was pretty good, Egypt Revisited. If you do not like trying to make it a blackology as far as from a historical perspective for a layman, it's a pretty good book. The African presence in early Europe, the African presence in early Asia, African presence in early America. So, I had to give that shit up. I'm those people are not my people, which were West Africans brought to the Americas. So, as you can see, I got 90 staple, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, ISIS papers with, some crackpot theories. I got Dr. Ben, Black Man of the Nile and his family. Black Man of the Nile and his family. Africa, the mother of Western civilization. The African origin of Western religions, of major Western religions. Got Diop, Civilization about Barbarism. I got a couple of his books. I don't think Diop is more Afrocentrist. It's just with this particular book, Civilization of Barbarism, he tries to lay the claim that that black West Africans, or he's trying to lay the claim that Egypt was a strictly black civilization. So, that makes him a, Afrocentrist in a sense. They kind of revere this book. But he does have some pretty good books. He has Pre-Colonial Black Africa and Black Africa. This was a pretty good book also. So I'm not going to throw that into the trash heap. As you can see, I got the Metal Netter books. I tried to read this shit, but hey, it was beyond my comprehension. So I got the J. Rogers. He was the lookership. Anybody that looked black was black. If they had a little bit of wide nose, some full lips, kinky hair, they was black. So he was, he came up during the one drop rule era. So he was heavily influenced by that sort of environment that he grew up in, where he started on this lookership thing. If they looked like black, they was black. So, I got some Jawanza Kunjufu books, Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. These are actually good books. So I bought these in the 90's before I have a son, and they, influenced me on how to raise him. These were highly influential on helping me choose a path for my son. Um, Let me see what this book is. Ethiopia, the missing link in African history. So it's a book on Ethiopia. Let me see, I got Anthony Browder. They stole it, but you must return it. Anthony Browder. So I got a couple of his books. Nile Valley Contribution to Civilization, the Browder Files. I got this book. Michael Bradley, he wrote the Iceman Inheritance. I have that book also. But this is a good book on Columbus. So it gives a history of how the real story of Columbus. I ain't gonna throw that into the trash. So he goes into the history of Columbus and how, he conspired and was jailed. So, I was heavily into Egyptology. As you can see, I got the Wallace E. Bulge books. Like these books, this information has been debunked. A lot of it was a lot of conjecture, hypotheses in these books. Modern day Egyptologists don't use these as references. I got this book on anacalyptic. So this is just on esoteric shit. This book, John G. Jackson, Man, God, Civilization. This was a pretty good book. So this is more scientific in terms of, origin of human beings and, just concepts of religion and stuff. So I wouldn't throw John G. Jackson in the trash. That was a very good book. And the Afrocentrics mainstay, stolen legacy. They stole our history. The Greeks, they stole our history. You know what I'm saying? So I got even though the Egyptians, they were, from my understanding, they were a Mediterranean culture. So, so rather than steal, they influenced that region, the Mediterranean region. So got France Fanon, you know what I'm saying? I mean, France Fanon was a man. So France Fanon, he just had an understanding of psychology under colonization. So, I mean, these are pretty good books, and they still stand the test of time, I think. France Fanon books. Life in Ancient Egypt. Let me see. Oh, yeah, so Chief X, this is my Westpac 88 book. So I was on a Western Pacific cruise stationed on USS Peleliu. Let me see if I can open up. So this is us pulling into Long Beach Harbor. That was our station. We were stationed in Long Beach Harbor, pulling in off a 6-month Western Pacific cruise. So we went all over Asia Pacific. And the only thing I gotta say about being a 90s Hotep that was good, that we actually read. We actually purchased books, we read, and we didn't just sit back and take information from some guy on the internet. We could actually cross-reference and study and debate the topics off of stuff that we actually read. Um, oh, Chancellor Williams. This is one of the main Hotep books. Destruction of Black Civilization. So he supports a black replacement theory, saying that, oh, black people were bred out of Egypt, so that the current Egyptians who, the current Egyptians bred the black people out, which I don't support. I think the people there in North Africa were always there, so I don't support that anymore. But like I was saying, like in the 90s, we did a lot of reading, and that was good. So my intellectual curiosity was, I was working on my intellectual curiosity. So that got me into software development. And I mean, if you're doing a lot of reading and you cross-referencing information, you could say, oh, this is, I always had an open mind anyway. So I would be like, all right, this is bullshit. And when, new information came across, I was able to get rid of old information. So, old outdated information. So, I mean, that was my thing. And that got me into software development. And, the good thing about reading is, it sparks your brain cells. So, and it took me into other areas. So, I mean, that's my 90s Hotep collection. So, like I said, I got the Diop, I got the Van Sertimas, I got the Ben Yakamins, and I got the Anthony Browders and everything in between. And, that's what it is. And with that, I say peace.